The three propellers had 4.7 meters in diameter and 3 blades. The port and middle propellers rotated counterclockwise, whereas the starboard propeller rotated clockwise, reaching 270 revolutions per minute at full speed. The electric steering system controlled two parallel rudders, size 24.2 square meters each and inclined 8 degrees from the vertical center line. Four ARADO R-196 reconnaissance seaplanes were carried on board the Bismarck, albeit up to 6 could be embarked if required, for their wings could be folded to save space. 2 aircraft were stored in a double hangar under the main mast and another 2 in single hangars located at both sides of the funnel. Armor in the belt was 320 mm thick Krupp cementite face hardened steel. The belt was backed with a 60 mm thick layer of teakwood, which helped to absorb shock damage, and bolted onto a 16 to 25 mm thick side plating. Armor in the conning tower was 350 mm thick Krupp cementite face hardened steel in the walls and 220 mm in the roof. The fire control structure on top of the conning tower had 200 mm thick walls and 100 mm thick roof. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder for anti-aircraft fire, covered by a spherical cupola, which had 4 meters in span and could see the horizon about 15.4 kilometers afar. 7 searchlights of 1.5 meters in diameter made by Siemens Schuckert were installed in the superstructures of the Bismarck. 2 of them, placed at each side of the funnel, were fitted with dome-shaped covers. Armor in the barbettes was 80 mm thick Votan hard homogeneous steel above the deck and 20 mm under it, while the turrets had a thickness of 100 mm in the front, 40 mm in the rear and the sides, 35 mm in the front roof angle and 20 mm in the rear roof angle. Armor above the belt was 145 mm thick Krupp cementite face hardened steel. A set of hydrophones allowed the Bismarck to detect the noise emitted by the propellers of submarines, torpedoes and other ships, and to listen beyond what could be seen in conditions of low visibility. Armor in the barbettes was 340 mm thick Krupp cementite face hardened steel, while the turrets had a thickness of 360 mm in the front, 320 mm in the rear, 220 mm in the sides, 150 mm in the side roof angles, 180 mm in the front and rear roof angles and 130 mm in the horizontal roof. Each of the main turrets weighed 1,052 tons. The 38 cm SKC/34 naval cannon weighed 111 tons and had a total length of 19.6 meters, 52 calibers. It had a muzzle velocity of 820 meters, second and an effective range of 35.5 kilometers, being able to fire 3 800-kilogram shells per minute. Unlike the Bismarck, other contemporary capital ships had triple turrets, which allowed to decrease the number of turrets, the length of the armored citadel and the length of the ship itself while increasing the number of cannons to 9. But the traditional arrangement used in the Bismarck had advantages as well: an increased capability against multiple targets, a higher field of vision, fire in the stern area and increased difficulty for the enemy to disable all the turrets. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder, which had 10.5 meters in span and could see the horizon about 11.5 kilometers afar. The 4 main turret had its rangefinder removed because of the damage taken from sea water at high speeds. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder for anti-aircraft fire, which had 4 meters in span and could see the horizon about 14 kilometers afar. No less than 17 hose reels were distributed along the upper deck and the superstructure to assist washing or fire extinction throughout the whole ship. The 10.5 cm SKC-33 naval cannon had a muzzle velocity of 881 meters, second and an effective range of 17.5 kilometers. The electrically powered twin mountings weighed 27.85 tons and were designed to compensate the motion of the ship and thus stabilize the aim onto the target. Since they were open to the weather and sea swell, they demanded a high maintenance burden. These pieces constituted the backbone of the anti-aircraft artillery on the Bismarck and could fire up to 15 rounds per minute. The 15 cm SKC-28 naval cannon weighed 9 tons and had a total length of 8.3 meters. It had a muzzle velocity of 875 meters, second and an effective range of 23 kilometers with a 45 kilogram shell. Unlike the 105 mm mountings, these pieces were intended for being used solely against naval or ground targets. The hydraulic, pneumatic catapult launched the aircraft at a speed of 70 knots. Fire control module with integrated FUMO-23 radar and high-precision optical rangefinder. The stereoscopic rangefinder had 10.5 meters in span and could see the horizon about 15 kilometers afar. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder for anti-aircraft fire, which had 4 meters in span and could see the horizon about 15.8 kilometers afar. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder, which had 6.5 meters in span and could see the horizon about 11.5 kilometers afar. In the secondary battery, only the central 150 mm turrets had rangefinders installed. Fire control module with integrated FUMO-23 radar and high-precision optical rangefinder. The radar operated with a frequency of 368 MHz, 81.5 centimeters wavelength, and had an effective range of about 25 kilometers. The stereoscopic rangefinder had 10.5 meters in span and could see the horizon about 20.8 kilometers afar. 4 smaller rangefinders were installed around the command post. Fire control module with integrated FUMO-23 radar and high-precision optical rangefinder. The stereoscopic rangefinder had 7 meters in span and could see the horizon about 16 kilometers afar. Each of the 2 main cranes located amidships could lift up to 12 tons. The Bismarck had a good equipment of motorboats. The largest of them had 11.5 meters in length and weighed 7 tons. Armor in the largest part of the upper deck was 50 mm thick Votan hard homogeneous steel. The 2 cm Flak 30 anti-aircraft cannon had a muzzle velocity of 900 meters, second, an effective range of 2,200 meters and a rate of fire of 180 rounds per minute. The ammunition was supplied by 20-round box magazines. The 3.7 cm SKC-30 anti-aircraft cannon had a muzzle velocity of 1,000 meters, second, an effective range of 2,000 meters and a rate of fire of 30 rounds per minute. The Bismarck carried 3 anchors in the prow and 1 in the stern, made of cast steel, each of them weighed 9.5 tons. The 2 capstans at prow shared the burden of lifting the 3 anchors and their chains, which weighed 112 kilograms per meter. Optical stereoscopic rangefinder, which had 10.5 meters in span and could see the horizon about 13.5 kilometers afar. Armor in the upper deck was reinforced to 80 mm thick Votan hard homogeneous steel around each pair of main turrets, around the secondary turrets and under the conning tower.